We live right now. What's the Line podcast? We make it every week, bro. It's just consistency is key. Building this portfolio. Oh, why did I just do that? Never mind. Hold on.
I think this is a week for me, man. A lot of dogs that I like. Just heart of hearts. A lot of dogs on the schedule this week, man. It's hard to come by one last week. There's so many this week, and I just know a few of them got ahead, man.
Yeah, we need that Sound Man special, baby. This is What's the Line podcast, week 10. Fans, Sound Man. You know he got that Sound Man special. We needs that. Shout out to Keith, man. Best bets been hitting, bro. Like 2-0 last week. Had the Patriots the week before against the Jets. Him and Rome combined 6-0. Last 2 episodes. Last few best bets. So shout out to them.
Cats are getting their bread, huh?
Yeah, I'm getting pushes all over the place. I hate it, man. It's good. It's got me going crazy.
They're having some pushes too, in hindsight.
Yeah, I feel like I'm buying a hook now from now on, man. That 3.5, man. I need to buy that hook, man. It's just like I need to get that 3.5. All right, we tweeting. We live right now on YouTube. What's the Line podcast, week 10. About to get it in. But yeah, shout out to Keith and Rome. 6-0 combined, last 6 best bets. I'm tweeting it out now. Tweet it out, man.
This is crazy.
What's crazy?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The first 7 games are all home faves. That's insane.
Bucks aren't at home though.
I wouldn't count that. Oh wait, yeah, that's true. Overseas. Well, still 6. These first 6, still nuts. That's what I like to see.
Is Rome in the building?
I see him here. He probably loading it up.
All right. I just got something else pulled up.
Raiders. -6, huh?
Who?
The Raiders.
The Raiders. The Raiders. So what's the total on that Carolina game tonight, man? Nobody taking the under?
I thought you got 42. I saw 41.5 on the
all right. Must be moving.
Saw that on the duel while I was, I check. When I go on VA, I check in. I pull up the app. I ain't touched nothing, but I pulled up the app. But I saw minus or 41.5, shall I say.
17-10, baby. 17-10.
They saying it's yeah, we got you, Roma, almost.
Bet. That's all I wanted to make sure. What about the background noise?
I don't hear nothing, baby.
I got background noise. Ain't nobody hearing that neither. You feel me?
Shout out Rome, baby. Month from today, we in the A, baby. We gonna represent.
Let's go. Rise up, goddamn.
Have a good time. We live. What's the Line podcast, week 10. Just tweeted.
Wow. A month from today. That is true.
Yes, sir. You know me, baby. I'm on it, man. Got a lot done today. First things first, man. Before we start this off, shout out to everybody, man. Everybody's working hard. Everybody has different agendas, different itineraries. I was at a board meeting all day. From 8 to 5, and came home, finished the pod notes. It's a lot going on. Sound Man, the family man, women and children. It's a beautiful thing. Roman got several gigs. Shout out Mike Curry. Paris does everything under the sun. Papa Keys. So we all work hard. Just want to put that out there before we get into this week 10. What's the Line podcast? Shout out to my guys. All right. Let's start it up. And we're back. Annie Up Consulting presents What's the Line podcast, week 10. I'm your host, the meticulous Mark P, running a 3-man weave this week. Got my guy with me, Sound Man. This year month, Sound Man, November. Shout out to Papa Keith, just had to be there yesterday. And Sound Man coming up in a couple weeks as well. How you feeling, Sound Man?
Actually, 3 weeks from the day. It's a beautiful thing. I'm feeling good.
3 weeks is 21 days.
Yeah.
It's today? November 10th.
Oh, that's a Wednesday. I'm tripping. All right, cool. 20 days, same deal. Nonetheless, feeling good. If you tuned in early, or I guess not, people probably listen to this audio wise. I'm loving this week. A lot of dogs on the board. This is where I make this is where I shine right here, man. So, I'm here for week 10. I feel like you can officially say the dog days of NFL now, man. Now I won't hold you for saying that, but I'm ready to go.
All right. My dog days are a little different. My dog days are a little different from everyone else's. I'm just realizing. College basketball back though. Got a win last night. Shout out to that. Rome back again, man. Week 10. How you feeling?
Week 10, ready to go. How about those Lions last week?
How about those Lions? How about Roman Keys? 6-0, last 6 best bets from the guys. Shout out to Papa Keys. He's been killing it, man. I don't know if y'all been paying attention. I just want to give him his kudos. He's getting better with age, baby. Getting better with age. All right. Let's get into it, man. This week on the slate, I got to pull up the notes. I don't even have them in front of me. Give me a second. But it's right there. It's right there for me. Let's start off in Germany. Seahawks at the Bucks. Bucks laying 2.5, total of 44.5. Bucks as a favorite under Tom Brady. 19-22-1 against the spread. Seahawks 14-8-1 against the spread, road dogs since 2018. But we know that all NFC West teams as road dogs under their current regime, and AFC North teams, road dogs, all profitable. But Sound Man, how you feel about this game? Brady and the boys laying 2.5 overseas.
Let's start it off early. I'm a fan of dogs, and we're gonna start off here. I love the Seahawks here, man. I got personally fading the Bucks and fading Tom Brady and these Todd Bowles team here. I got nothing for them. I'm honestly, they shouldn't even have won last week. Both those teams last week played terribly, but Tom Brady is still him, but he makes this drive at the end. But other than that, I mean, they didn't score for 59 minutes. I really have nothing for this Bucks team here. And then, it's just the Seahawks. They've already been over in Germany already, or at least before the Bucks have. And just the last couple of weeks, I mean, they've proven that they're kind of a real team, man. They played the Giants. They kept it rolling, even though I didn't appreciate that win. They did keep it rolling when things kept coming down their way. Last week, divisional game, the Cards tried to fight, and they just kept going and kept putting them away. These guys are playing good football here, way better football than the Bucks are currently. And there's just too much turmoil with that Bucks team. Secondary's banged up, and they can't score the ball. They're not running the ball. They're not doing anything here. So let's start it off 9 o'clock. By about noon, these Bucks are still going to look super sad like they've been looking all year. This would be a spot that Tom Brady gets a win. You get back to 500 and you're back in the swing of things. But I just think the Seahawks are a way better team here. And they're doing it with guys we don't even know, a bunch of rookies. I think I saw they got the most rookie snaps in the NFL right now with their draft class, which is pretty impressive that they're doing all of this, after Russ is gone. So, I love the Seahawks here. This is the first dog of the day I will be playing. Go Hawks here.
All right, Rome, how you feel about this game? Bucks laying 2.5 overseas.
Yeah, really like the Bucks in this spot. I know a lot of people have seen the Bucks this year and they're fed up. They're fed up with what they've seen. They pretty much drawn their conclusion on Tom Brady at the half point of the year. The Bucks aren't the Bucks, and and conversely, kind of the opposite sentiments for the Seahawks, right? I think a lot of people thought the Seahawks could possibly be one of the worst teams in pro football coming onto this year, and they proved everything against that by leading the NFC West in terms of the division standings after halfway through the season. So I think right now is the point where you can cut all this shit. You can throw your opinions out the window and you can look at the numbers and take the numbers for what they are. If you don't think the Seahawks are for real, shame on you. If you think the Bucks are have some type of fight left in them, hey, I think that's a good optimistic look, but I wouldn't call anything divisively one way or the other being halfway through the season. And, I think a lot of people are trying to write off the Bucks, and I think a lot of people are coming on to the Seahawks. And I think this is where the books are the books and the casinos are the casinos, and they are built and as beautiful and as big in Vegas as they are. Because right when people think they have a hold on thinking they understand what's going on, the books come in and take all the money. So how about this? Let's just start off here. The Seahawks are dogs in a game that's on a neutral site. The Seahawks have impressed and overachieved all of the expectations up until this point this year. Everyone's expectations for the Seahawks have been proven wrong or, exponentially done, more than what the people who probably are backing the Seahawks would be.
You're breaking up, Ron.
Tom Brady would be. People might have thought Tom Brady was done. And, just this past week, we know the line was 3, closed at 2.5. In some books, Tom Brady somehow finds a way to cover it. All I'm saying here is the books don't give points for free. And we've seen the Seahawks time and time again cover this number. They've covered 4 games in a row, and the books continue to give them points. I think this is where it dies out. I think the Bucks cover, get it done. I don't know what back on track means for a team that was expected to win 11 games. More than 11 games, that being the Bucks. But they somehow turned the ship around with a 2-game win streak, that being the one just this past Sunday at home against the Rams, and then overseas in Germany this weekend against the Seahawks. I think the Bucks cover. I think the Bucks win. Like I said, Seahawks have covered 4 straight games. Books continue to give them points. I think this is finally the week where the books have, they're on the right side in terms of giving Seahawks the points. I think they'll need them. And I think at the end of the day, it won't be enough. 2.5 points on a neutral, that is what it is. That's basically the book saying on a neutral, these teams are playing each other, and the Bucks are 2.5 points better. I tend to believe that. I'm going to lean with the Bucks here on a team that just covered this past weekend. It wasn't pretty, but they still got it done. Getting you a push if you caught them at 3 or covering at 2.5. The line is a line, and at the 58th minute when Tom Brady made it happen, they covered. So give me the Bucks 2.5 on this one.
Yeah, I lean with the Seahawks here. I definitely think, they've, exceeded expectations for sure. I'm more so probably against the Bucks. The fact that, they have not looked so well. And they're going against another zone defense, which they haven't played well against, and Mike Evans specifically. And it's a lot of travel involved, but I lean with the Seahawks. They've been pretty good in the spot, catching points, away from home. So I lean with the Seahawks. I was thinking it was possibly a best bet, but, didn't want to as far as a lot of travel and all of that. But, definitely lean with the Seahawks as I think they're in a good spot. I think the Bucks are just, I feel like they felt like they got it all off their chest after that W last week. There's still a lot of season to go, and I just feel like there's a lot of more disappointments to go as well. But I just lean with the Seahawks. I don't think I'm going to be betting them, at least not at this point of the week. But
yeah, and I just wanted to make my sentiments clear. I know I seem pretty adamant about the Bucks, but that's just a lean for me. That's not one of my best bets. It's nothing crazy I love. Obviously, I don't touch those 9 a.m. Overseas games. But I in retrospect, I do realize I was pretty passionate about that. But it's just a lean for me on the Bucks.
All right. A couple teams laying 3.5 at home. One team maybe without their quarterback. Bills laying 3.5 against the Vikings. Total of 43.5. And the Dolphins are laying 3.5 at home against the Browns. Total of 49. Browns 0-2 against the spread after a bye under head coach Kevin Stefanski. However, they are 9-5 against the spread as a road dog under Stefanski as well. Dolphins 9-4 as a home fave since 2018. I guess rather telling me, we obviously know Josh Allen may not play for the Bills. But let's talk about this 3.5 number at home. What do we think about it so far?
I got it. I love this game, and I'm sorry it's not going to answer your question, but honestly, I usually don't answer your question correctly on, who would I rather have. So whatever. But let me just get on this while I can. Bills they're one of the best teams in terms of unders on the total this year. And I know what we're hearing on Josh Allen. You know, he might not play. This and the third. You know, I would expect him to probably try and give it a go. But, you know, I'm not Josh Allen's shoulder or arm or whatever's the issue with him. Okay, so I don't know. But what I will say is this Buffalo Bills team has now gone under in all of their games except one. And I think it is interesting to note that this is a Bills offense that we hold in high regard. You know, we obviously seen what they did in the AFC Championship last year towards the end of the year. We know that this Bills team can get up and down the field and score points, but somehow, you know, defenses are holding them out of the end zone, the green zone, red zone, green zone, whatever you want to call it, and they're not getting those touchdowns. So these games are going under. The Bills have now gone under in 7 straight games. Give me the over in this game. I don't want to handicap anything. I don't care who's playing. I don't. 43.5. I've seen that number go over a couple times. I see that the Vikings have gone under a couple times recently. This is just me being Rome, fading trends. One of the best offenses in pro football has gone under 7 games in a row. I'm willing to bet they're not going to go under 8 games in a row, and I'll play the over 43.5 points.
All right. Sound man, what do you think about these 2 games specifically and that 3.5 number at home?
I think that's very funny that Rome definitely did not answer the question at all. It just goes for a total. It's very hilarious. So I'll start by saying this. Like I said, I'm very much fan of a lot of dogs this week. And one of the dogs in this 2-game window that you presented was the Browns. I like the Browns this week.
Brownies.
And like I looked at it all, and the Browns just jumped out to me, right? Coming off the bye, coming off beating the Bengals. Yes, the divisional game. Yes, these Bengals you beat a lot of times in a row.
Drew Carey.
There you go. Okay, I didn't know that's your vibe this week too. I'm loving it, man. But no, I mean, the Finns, right? We've always, every season of doing this, we've always had a team that we kind of, ride, and we know when to play them, know when to fade them. I feel like I've been knowing when to play these Finns often this year. I've been on their side. I think this week is not the week for them. Browns come off this bye, just like you said, 0-2 off the bye for Stefanski, but that divisional record, on road record for them is pretty good. And I just, the Finns been flying high, man. Like, it's time to maybe have like a regression game here. So I like the Browns overall over the Finns. I've been liking the Vikings as well this year. Obviously, we know I love the Bills, the 3.5 in a row. I mean,
Matic, what are you saying? You like the Vikings, you like the Bills, you like the Dolphins. What's the side? -3.5, baby.
Rome, you didn't even answer the question, so please don't come at me like that. All right, let's not even do that. I'm just giving my take on the Vikings Bills. I said if we have to take, the question is, who are you taking the points with, right? I would take it with the Bills over the Finns. I have nothing for the Finns. I think the Browns are going to win this game. If I had a gun in the head, take the points, give me the Bills. I don't think they cover this week, though. I do think Josh will try to give it a go, but I don't think it's going to work in his favor. But I think the Bills are the superior team here. The Bills beat everybody that's not in the division. There's another team that's not in the division. They should win this game. Who knows about this elbow? I've been liking the Vikings. Rome's been liking the Vikings as well. I can definitely see the Vikings covering, but between the 3.5 from the Bills or the Finns, I would take the 3.5 with the Bills.
Yeah. Just a last point on this game. Let's just give our listeners an insight as to how you should look at this line. Josh Allen is questionable, right? And this line is sitting steady at 3.5.
I don't even know whose backup is.
None of us do, and I'd be lying if I told you I did.
It's Case Keenum.
Okay, so I think the books are saying basically, it's somewhat, some would argue Case Keenum is the 33rd, 34th best quarterback in pro football, right? Probably top 2 or 3 in terms of backups. So, okay, cool. But let's just understand what the books are saying. They're saying Josh Allen or not, Bills 3.5 at home. So I think there's something to be said about a line that still holds pretty strong against a team that's, what are the Vikings, 8-1 now? So a team that's 8-1 and a quarterback that's, unlikely to play at this point. I think we would all call that here on Thursday night, and they're still laying 3.5. I think there's something to be said about that. So just, I would just, be cautious if you're betting this game and just watch the line movement all the way up into the game.
Yeah, I actually don't have much for either game. I guess I lean with the Browns, but I think there's a lot of, might be going on as far as they feel like they're about to get their quarterback back. But I really want to just kind of, the 3.5 is sort of a number that I'm trying to just explore. The 3.5 at home, that 3.5 to 4. I think a couple of weeks ago, bro, I mentioned I'd rather lay the 3.5 on the road than at home. But I don't know if that's necessarily like, I just kind of want to study it. We know the Lions covered the 3.5 last week at home. But the week before, I don't think they were 3.5 at home. But it went up to 4. So I'm just trying to figure that number out. So that's more. I'm just, kind of just talking
Yeah.
through it.
And I think we can talk through that offline. I mean, I know we're on a short cadence here, but there is something to be said about that 3.5 on the road. I don't think it covers.
All right, yeah, no doubt. I mean, I haven't been laying 3.5 on the road, but I was just thinking about that recently. All right, another game on the board. As far as I like the fact that we're talking about numbers. So let's talk about numbers and the fact that this Saints land is 1.5 on the road at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Love it.
This is the same number that was Oakland land this last week.
Yep.
I feel like a couple weeks before, who did the Saints? Oh, Saints. Oakland was landing 1.5 against the Saints.
Yeah, let's be specific here. Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, the Vegas Raiders were laying 1.5 against the Saints at the Saints. Obviously, they got blown out in that game.
Yeah, line close to 1. Close to 1 though.
Yeah, but the line was 1.5 throughout the week. I mean, I'm just trying to. So and then Vegas 1.5 throughout the week last week at Jacksonville didn't cover. So that 1.5 on the road. I definitely want to fade that, and I think the Steelers are a good pick this week. But Ron, talk to me. How do you feel about this game?
Yeah, so I mean, we've seen the Saints here 3 weeks in a row basically have the same line. As you mentioned, going back about 10 days ago, they were catching 1.5 at home against the Raiders. Line closes 1. Saints win outright 24-0. Just this past, I guess that was Monday night. Ravens go in. Line just kind of sits at 2, 1.5 all day. Line finally closed at 2. I think most people got 2 on that game. And then here again, 3rd week in a row, Saints catching a line, less than 2 points. I think this is, one of those classic spots where people like to think Mike Tomlin's had 10 days to get these Steelers back on track, refocused, rejuvenated and ready to go here at home. And people like to speak about prideful organizations and blah, blah, blah. And Mike Tomlin's never finished the season under 500. Well, that's going to happen this year. So what does that look like? Does that look like, 8 and 9? Does that look like 6 and 11 or 6 and 2? I don't know. I'm sorry. It's an extra game. Okay. But what does that look like? And I think we're still trying to figure that out halfway through with the Steelers. I think this is one of those games that you really should bet the under on. And it kind of goes to the point of quarterbacks and offensive production. I mean, who's going to move the ball for Pittsburgh? The rookie? Good luck. All right. And then on the opposite side, Andy Dalton hasn't been too sharp, for the Saints. And, at this point, they might as well be shopping around trying to see if Jameis wants to play again. So 2 offenses that are out of whack, no identity going halfway through the season. Look for a muck-it-up game here early November in Pittsburgh. I can see an underplay on this one.
All right, Sal, man, talk to me. How you feel about this game? Steelers catching 1.5 at home.
So prior to this game, right, I'm up to 2 dogs, right? And let's just up it to 3 right here, right? Love the Steelers here at home. I'm glad you said you like the play for the Steelers. And it's really just a fade on what I've been seeing from Andy Dalton, right? I got these stats. Mike Tomlin, 16-3-3 against the spread.
Go use those notes, baby.
As a home underdog, right? Andy Dalton is 2-6 against the spread in Pittsburgh. Just, he's been here, he's been in this division. Andy Dalton's seen this guy. Mike Tomlin's seen this guy as well, bro. I have nothing for it. TJ Watt's coming back. Like, come on, bro. We just saw the Ravens defense get at this man on Monday. So you're telling me you have to take your Saints team into Pittsburgh, a place you've played in several times. And again, just 2-6 against the spread against them. 3-13 overall against these Steelers. It's still Mike Tomlin. It's not the same Steelers, but it's still Mike Tomlin. I have nothing for it. To Rome's point, you put Jameis in, it might be a different story. But with Andy Dalton at the helm, I have nothing for it. This is another underdog I like this week with the Steelers at home. Give me the Steelers there.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah, and just one. Yeah, go ahead, Pete. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying I got two possible best bets, and this is definitely on the list. I think it probably is going to be my best bet, but I definitely like the Steelers. Soundman touched on it, 15-3-3 against the Spread as a home dog, Mike Tomlin is. But after the bye, after the loss against Philly, I mean, there is a certain amount of pride you have in the building. But I'm fading out. Listen, when we talk about getting better year by year, Rome, you put this in me. These numbers, good guys played. Sharp guys play the numbers. 1.5 has not been covered on the road. So
It hasn't.
I want to see the Saints be able to do it. I don't think they're going to be able to do it. And then I got Pittsburgh, T.J. Watt coming back, 15-3-3 against the Spread as a home dog. So I'm going to fade the Saints on a short week at that, and Steelers with the rest advantage. So I'm going to take them plus 1.5. Yep, that's bet, right?
Yeah, I really like that bet. I piggyback on that, and I would say I like the Steelers as well. But it's just one of those games where it's just like, do we really have to pick a side here? No, we don't. I mean, we got two offenses that are pretty bad, so that's why I kind of lean to the total. But just to speak on one of the last points on this one, we talk about a Saints offense, or a Saints team rather, that's led by Dennis Allen, and at this point, I'm just convinced rookie head coaches outside of Kevin help me out, Kevin, whatever his name is up there in Minnesota. Rookie head coaches on the road simply just haven't been able to get it done. I know we saw Miami go up to Chicago and get it done, but that was a pretty ugly game in which they had to do it. They gave up a lot on the ground to Fields. So, it's just really hard for these rookie head coaches to take teams on the road as favorites and win. I know the line is pretty low, being at 1.5. It's basically a money line, kind of a toss-up game. But, I'm just not too confident in backing rookie head coaches on the road laying points. So I'll take the veteran Mike Tomlin at home. I think a lot of people are doing that this week, which kind of makes me hesitant. But we'll see when the money splits come out later this week, who's all on who. But I would imagine the Steelers are probably going to be the most popular dog this week.
Yeah, and I don't see this going to 2 at all. So if you want the
No.
get it right now.
Hey, I can see Steelers closing -1.
Yep. Yeah, I can see that as well. I can definitely see that as well. All right. As we continue to talk about numbers, let's talk about the Cowboys. Laying 5 on the road. This is one we've been publicly talking about. And they're laying 5 at the Packers, total of 43. Cowboys 5-2 against the spread after a bye since 2016. That's the Elliott, Dak Prescott era. Packers 11-4. No, Packers. No, that's not. No. Packers 11-4 against the spread after a loss since 2019. Matt LaFleur. Soundman, talk to me. I seen you put your 4 up.
So the 4 just represents that, I told you on the last one, I have 3 dogs. This is the 4th dog for me that I like this week. Give me the Packers here, man. Like, shit is hitting the fan in Green Bay. I really don't care about that. The Cowboys are a pretty good team. I don't care about that. This is just a vintage game about the Cowboys going to Lambeau Field. And I just get flashbacks of, the Dez catch and shit like that. Like, it doesn't seem like things work in their favor at Lambeau. There's probably going to be a 4:00 game as well. It'll end at night. So it's like we remember shit happening at Lambeau at night for these Cowboys. Fans perspective here. I have nothing for the Cowboys here. I've liked the Cowboys all year as well. The Packers have to win this game, right? They have to win this game. Cowboys been giving it up on the run for the last couple of weeks. Run the ball, Packers. Like, your Rodgers, your receivers aren't that good. You got a couple that you trust, but they're not that good. Just keep running the ball. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, just gash them, you know what I'm saying? Get the ball out your hand quick. Don't worry about the Micahs of the world, man. Like, the secondary for the Cowboys a little banged up as well. You lost Jordan Lewis out here, man. Like, there's guys, you can make plays here, but this is the vintage Packers versus Cowboys at Lambeau Field, 4:00 game. Romo and them was calling it. Get on track here with a win. I don't care about the points, the -5. I thought we talked about 5 being the number on the road, being a fave as well. So that's another thing into consideration here. But this is just a fan perspective, man. Packers win at home against the Cowboys. So I love the Packers here. This is my fourth dog of the week that I like.
All right, Rome, talk to me. How you feel about this game?
Yeah, 5 is just such a no man's land number. Like 5 is not a key number in any sport, basketball, football, it doesn't matter. So, yeah, it's kind of, what do you feel whenever I see 5? And more recent than not, I've just been staying away from these games. So I'm going to continue to do that here. And this is just going to be a stay away for me. I'll just give out some numbers, though, just for the listeners. Cowboys 6-2 ATS this year. They've covered 2 in a row, and they've covered 4 prior to the one in sandwiched in between in which they didn't. So, if you're looking for a team that covers and you like playing on trends, I personally like fading trends. If you like playing trends, Cowboys will probably be your side this week, 6-2 ATS.
All right, me, I definitely lean with the Packers. I think it's a good spot for them and Lambeau Field for a team that plays in the Dome, coming off a bye week. But I this 5 is really about the number. I mean, the 4.5 to 5 just doesn't cover on the road.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
See it week after fucking week, and we've been talking about it here on this podcast. What's the Line podcast? Week 10 we're at. We've been talking about it over the last month. We've been talking on the Monday morning podcast as well about that number. So I'm not riding with it. I'm fading it, and I would take Aaron Rodgers in the spot. But I lean with it. I don't think it's gonna be a best bet for me, but I think it's definitely a good spot for the Green Bay Packers. All right.
Yeah.
I really any more games in particular I'm gonna get into one specifically, but any more that after this that just jump off to you guys, just let me know. But the Colts are at the Raiders. We know the Colts fired their head coach this week. Frank Reich got the boot, and it's Jeff Saturday, former center for the team, Peyton Manning, the whole era. Jim Irsay hired this guy to coach. Raiders land 6. We know the Raiders are going through it as well. Look ahead was 3.5. Raiders 10-15 against spreads of home fave since 2014. Ron, what do you think about this game, the Raiders?
Yeah, I'm not betting this game. Just 2 teams that don't have an identity halfway through the football season. And I think, there's other games to bet on the list. Why bet Colts Raiders? I will say, just for the listeners out there, it's never a bad idea to back a team that just fired their coach. There's just simply something about motivation and just a new fiery spirit or whatever it is. There's just a new energy about teams with a recently fired coach. That first week after they fired that coach up until I would say last year is as recent as I have the number. That team was about 58% against the spread the week after following the coach. So that's pretty profitable. So I know it's contrary to belief. Team just fired a coach, organizations in disarray, but oftentimes not, those teams end up rallying and covering the spread. I'll stay away in this specific game, but I just wanted to make that known.
All right, yeah, I don't think too much about this game either. I mean, I think Raiders possibly in the first half is a good spot. They're -3 right now. I think it'll probably go up to 3.5. I just lean that way. I probably won't bet it because of that new coach thing. But I mean, when we talk about the new coach, though, maybe I will bet it because obviously we know the Raiders have given up 3 to 4 17-point leads. So they've been able to get out in front of teams. So they have that, and then they're also coming off a loss, so they still want to come out and execute. So we have that as well. But I mean, as far as just the Colts hiring Jeff Saturday, I mean, what about is Pep Hamilton on that coaching staff? I know Reggie Wayne is, right? What do you think about guys like that? It's just like you're a coach, maybe you about to get the intern, and they just bring in this guy Jeff Saturday off the ESPN couch. I think that has some effect. So I mean, I think Raiders first half for me. But go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, I think there is going to be obviously an adjustment period, but how about this? I mean, I think we could all see it happening, right? Folks pick 6 or something that happens, and they're up 14-0, and the place is rocking.
Right.
All of a sudden, Jim Irsay looks like a boy genius. We can see that happening. So I just think it's interesting to know, a coach coming in on his first ever coaching game in pro football. There's never been a coach in pro football hired without have coaching a game previously at the college level or professional level. Jeff Saturday is the first. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts were to show up and play for Jeff Saturday and that Colts organization it's just pretty interesting to me that a team with a coach coaching for the first ever time is only, it's the line is 3.5. I think that's pretty shallow. How bad the Raiders have been. Sorry, 6. I'm thinking about that first half. But, I think it's pretty shallow for a team, in the Raiders that hasn't shown too much life defensively, but offensively know how to score points and move the ball with Jacobs. And we've seen what Adams has been able to do this year. So, it's an interesting line for me. And that 6 it's just one of those lines. It's just like 7. Where do you want to catch that 6 or 7? Do you want to catch it with the Colts, or do you want to catch it with the Chargers? So it's just one of those things. I think you could stay away. You don't really have to touch it. It's Raiders Colts.
All right, 5 sound man, talk to me. You got the 5s up.
I'm up to 5 dogs that I like this week, man. A lot of things that were spewed. That new head coach thing is something I'm riding here.
You need to stop. You need to stop.
We'll talk Sunday. Listen, man, the Raiders stink, right? I don't know how they're getting 6 here.
They do.
They just stink. They're not doing anything good. You said we know what Adams has done. He hasn't been playing good. They haven't been playing good football this year. I've seen him go with one catch.
They found the ball. Let's just be fair. And I don't want to get too deep in it, but they found the ball pretty well this past weekend in Jacksonville after not giving the ball at all the week prior.
Because you didn't give him the ball the week prior, I'm going to feed this guy this week. All right, this guy is, cool. There's no other body to pass it to. Renfro's out, IR. Waller's out, IR. What else do we have on offense besides Adams? Colts going here. You put Gilmore on fucking Devontae. You put the second. You just shadow Devontae. Now what do you have on offense for the Raiders, right? Jeff Saturday. We know he hasn't coached shit, right? It's
all right.
Fine.
So let's just slow down. And I'm not going to nitpick everything, but you just said Gilmore. I mean, we haven't heard about him since Jesus left Chicago. Stephon Gilmore is not the Stephon Gilmore from the New England Patriots.
He picked off somebody a few
So-
weeks back, a great, in that.
That's what I'm saying. And he had a whole chill out, Rome. You're wrong there. Gilmore's been playing solid ball this year, and if not, you put
6 in opponents' passing yards per game, 192.3.
That's what I'm saying. These guys aren't no slouches here. So now you have one receiver to pass it to. You shadow this guy. You put 2 guys on it. Now who are you passing it to? Please name another Raider receiver for me. I'll wait. You get Jonathan Taylor back this week. It's just like, let's play for Jeff Saturday. He's in the ring of fame here. Like, I don't think he's gonna be good personally, but Raiders.
This is
suck.
the week to bet them. You're right. You're right.
They suck. The Raiders suck, and it's Colts. This just makes sense. Like you said,
the Colts suck too, but
they do. Everybody's juiced up now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we fired somebody. Matt Ryan's he's practicing now. He might be activated. Jeff Saturday's not gonna be like, let's ride with Sam Ehlinger here. Like, Jeff Saturday knows Matt Ryan is probably better than Sam here. So what are we doing?
A few weeks off. A healthy arm.
So what are we doing? Okay, cool. Let's go to Vegas. Let's get boozed up, bro. Give me the Colts here.
How about this, bro? How about this?
Yeah.
How about this? When we were in Vegas, what was the theme about the game?
It was Vegas versus
Indianapolis.
Vegas versus
Bro,
so we went to Vegas last year around this time. It was Raiders versus Bears. I mean, the entire strip, you would have thought, Jesus came to Vegas Strip and everybody from Chicago came to Vegas. It was just Bears fans everywhere. So expect everybody from the Midwest, get out of that cold, get out there into Vegas. They pack up the Allegiant. I'm not gonna lie, you guys just convinced me mid-pod. I kind of do lean Colts. Yeah, I have to lean Colts here.
I'm up to 5 dogs, man. Colts got it this week. Jonathan Taylor
No, all 5 of those that's just wrong. I mean, all 5 are going to cover, but I do think this is one of the ones that might have to cover.
This is it. Yep. All right. I like that. Put that on my radar. Hey, that's a play.
Wait. I think let's just slow down though. This is the one we're going to deep dive. Let's deep dive it. This last question on this. Why are the Raiders laying 6 though?
That's a great question. I have not a clue. And that's
that's where I think we need to slow down just a little bit. Why is this line 6? Because of Jeff Saturday? Because they fired their coach?
Because of Jeff Saturday.
They fired their coach. Because they fired their coach.
But they kept everything else. They kept all the other coaches.
Did they? They fired these coaches
the Raiders
before that
season
happened.
are over. Their season's over. They're in the AFC West. Their season's over.
Who in the AFC West is good besides Kansas City?
It's not necessarily
I
about
don't think
that.
this
They're
season
not
is
gonna.
over.
You don't think it's over? Okay.
17
Yeah,
games, 8-1, baby. 17 games.
No, I think it's over because they would have to get the wild card in the AFC East. There's nobody under 500 in the AFC East right now. There's probably going to be 2 playoff teams out of there, and the Raiders aren't going to be the other one.
A lot of
There's
football.
9 playoff teams. There's a lot of football left, but let's just be real. I don't think the Raiders snuck in there last year. They're going to do it again with a new head coach this year? I don't know.
they're last 6 just because of that. It's desperation time. Your season is now or never for you to win. The look ahead was 3.5. Obviously, you get up to 6 with all the turmoil in the Colts, whatever org. But the Colts is
Do
definitely.
we know what this line opened at?
It was 3.5.
It's Jeff
The
Saturday.
look ahead was 3.5. So now it's up to 6.
It
Okay.
has-
I like it. I'm still
You ain't
close.
laying
I'm still
6.
close.
I'll tell you that, Rom. You ain't laying 6. That mean they got to win by 7 for you to profit. I know you're not doing that.
You're
So
right.
it's close
You're
enough.
right. You're right.
It's close
You're
to
right.
nothing. All right. Any more games pop off to you guys on the
Yep.
schedule? Yep. Go ahead.
Yep. Sunday night football.
Here we go.
This is one of those games. We talk about it and we've seen it. This is one of the first years where we've seen this just, as prominently as we have. Teams with records less than their opponent, less wins, but they're the favorite. And so we get that here with the 49ers. 49ers, I think they've won 4 games. I'm sorry. And the Chargers, the Chargers have won 4 games and the 49ers have won. Okay, yeah. Chargers 5 games, 49ers have won 4 games, but the 49ers are favored by 7 points. So 49ers, 1 less to win, but they're at home, but they're favored. And I don't know why this line is 7. If I'm inclined to lay 7, I'm more inclined to lay it at home than I am on the road. I don't understand this line. And so I just kind of wanted to chat through it. What do you guys think about this 7? Why is this line 7? And why is a team with 1 less win laying 7 against the Chargers team with 1 more win?
It's the hype of the 49ers. I mean, the McCaffrey show last time we saw them, he had 3 total touchdowns, 1 throwing, 1 passing, 1 running. It's obviously they're still the people's favorite to win the NFC, the 49ers. So they're definitely going to get juice. And then they're coming off the bye week as well. And the Chargers don't look great from week to week, people, but I mean, Chargers 7-3 against the spread as a road dog under Justin Herbert. This 49ers.
Do we have Shanahan after a bye numbers?
Shanahan out there by just 3-3 against the spread. I do have him as a home fave though. It's 10-15-1 against the spread.
Is that bad?
Yeah, that's not good. And Sound Man, I don't know if you know this or not. But I feel like the whispers. But Shanahan, they haven't won a Sunday night game in like 3.
Go ahead and say it. Since Jesus left Chicago. So they need to win one of these Sunday night games. They say that, San Francisco can't get up and win these Sunday night games because their stadium's too far away from the people who actually love football. And it's in wine country and people are golf clapping in the stadiums. And they're not giving them that rah-rah mentality or environment that they necessarily need. I don't know if I buy into all that, but I do think it's interesting that a team cannot win a primetime game at home. So I look for them to get it done here, laying the 7 at home. I see the line and I ask myself, well, this is one of those lines where I usually catch 7. But this line is sitting at 7, and I'm pretty sure everyone in the world is trying to figure out why, and they're going to catch it. So I'll lay it. And I'll look like a fool when it's all over, probably, but I can't figure it out. So I'll lay the 7 here.
Yeah, I lean Chargers. But I mean, it's a lot of football to be played. But
a lot of injuries again with the Chargers already at the skill position, specifically wide receiver.
Yep, and 49ers number 1 in opponents' rush yards per game, but Chargers not gonna run the ball anyway. So, but Salman, how do you feel about this one?
I found it very funny that Rome brought up wine country and golf claps. That's some fan shit to say. So I'm glad that he still does enjoy a little bit of the sport, not just the sports aspect of his betting, shall I say. But I have nothing for this game. I like the 49ers and I hate the Chargers, and I don't know how this is going to go. So I have nothing for this game.
All right, I'm going to get out of here with some Sal, man. Did you have another game?
Oh, yeah. I mean, So we're at 5 dogs that I like. I do have actually I had 2 more that I like randomly.
Just give us your favorite dog.
I will give us our favorite dog when it's time for us to do that, buddy.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
So here's one that I'm not gonna do this one. I do like Dan Campbell this week, but the one I want to talk about, I like Russell Wilson over the Titans this week. Going into Tennessee, it's gonna be I think it's they're in hour difference for them, so it's gonna be like 2 hours still. I think the Broncos get it done. Yeah, all that. I think this is just coming off the bye. They're trying to turn the season around as well. It's only 2.5. You're coming off the bye. Let's finally get some momentum here. We got to win. We had the bye. Let's we put things together on offense. And I like the Titans as well. They just took a L. They're saying Derrick Henry got 100% of their touchdowns this week 7. It's kind of crazy. They have no other offense besides that. Oh, Treylon Burks is crazy? No, I mean it's not, because they let their best offensive weapon go, so it's not crazy. But it's still ultimately crazy that he has all their touchdowns. Treylon Burks coming back, woohoo! He's not that good. I think Broncos come in here, they bring their offense in here, and they just get a win on the road. I like the Broncos here as a dog, man. And I hate it for Derrick Henry, because I ride with that guy. But I like the Broncos here, and like I did sprinkle in, I do like the Lions as well as a dog. So that's how I'm feeling with these games.
All right, Broncos 4-0 against the spread after a bye since 2018. Ron, how do you feel about this game?
I've talked enough tonight. I have nothing for this one.
All right, I lean Broncos as well, but let's do a little quick fire. Tell me which games you guys will bet on between these. Lions are at the Bears. Bears -3.
Yeah, give us the Lions every single time. We don't care. We'll snort it just the same way Dan Campbell snorts whatever he does. We're on the Lions every single week, baby.
Let's must be drinking on the road.
Total of 48.5. Yep, Dan Campbell 6-2 against the spread in division games. All right,
there we go. That's our guy.
Jaguars at Chiefs. Chiefs are laying 9.5. Total of 50.5. Texans at Giants. Giants are laying 5. Total of 41. We went over.
That just has muck it up written all over it, doesn't it? That game.
And then Cardinals at the Rams. Rams laying 3. Total of 43.5. Out of those games, I'll start with me. I mean, I would definitely catch the points with the Cardinals. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, out of the games that we named left, I mean, they're not my best bet, but I'm just out of the quick.
No, I just hate talking about these Rams and Cardinals teams that are
you
never
said that about the
do
49ers and Rams. What do you hate, the NFC West? Come on.
No. It's just the Rams. I'm just so sick of them. They're irrelevant. We know they're not going to be there when it matters this year. So it's just like, why? We just have to talk about them because they're there.
But Cardinals 15-5-2 against the spread as a road dog with under head coach Cliff Kingsbury, and Kyler Murray came in at the same time. But that's under Kingsbury because Kyler didn't play all the games. But they've lost their last 2 as a road dog. I think this is the spot, double revenge. I mean, they obviously lost that playoff game. A lot of turmoil going on in the building, but I'm not backing the Rams here. I think it's a good spot for the Cardinals to get a win here, win outright. But I would back them plus the 3 out of all those games I just named. Sound man, what are you going to do with those games I just named?
Let me just say I do like that, back in the cards here. The Hard Knocks just came out. They're getting mad embarrassed on that shit. Buda Baker's pissed off. Sky Stafford, concussion protocol. Will he play? He probably will. He's an Iron Man kind of guy. I'm pretty sure he'll be out there.
Concussion protocol.
Hey, I'm sure he'll be out there on Sunday. But as Rome said, I'm very tired of the Rams. They're a part of my teams that I'm sick of. But I actually am also tired of the Cardinals too. But just because of the Hard Knocks factor, I think I'm going to be that guy. This is fan shit here. I do like Cards over the Rams here. But at all the games you said, I do, to Rome's point, love the Lions this week against the Bears. Bears have been having some really good showings these last couple of weeks. We've been putting up some points and all that. Not this week, man. Lions 1-1 in the division. Let's go ahead and play these Bears for the first time on the road. I think Dan Campbell takes his guys up here, and I think he wins outright personally. So out of all the last 4 games that you gave me, I'm definitely riding with the Lions here. One of these other teams I talked about earlier, like we had spots all seasons where we had teams and we vibe with them. Like I haven't vibed with the Lions at all this year. I vibe with the Lions the last couple of seasons. I think this is the week for me to be like, yo, the Lions, they're my guys. So I'm loving the
Well,
Lions.
they were my guys last week, so you're a week too late.
Well, guy, you were on them for weeks prior and that didn't cash. So fuck out of here. Like these are
Yeah, that's fair.
it's
That's
time.
fair.
It's time. The Lions, these are my guys this week. So give me the Lions out of all those over the Bears. I love it.
All right. Yeah, I feel like I gave mine right. Yeah. Rome. Rome's probably out of it. All right, let's finish this off. Tease me pick, Sound Man. You got anything for me right now, or should I go?
Yeah, go for it. I didn't even think about it, but go for it.
Give me the Raiders at a pickup. No, I'm just joking.
I was looking at that too. That's just crazy.
Give me all the numbers game. Give me them. I'll take the Broncos plus 8.5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who was that was catching at 6?
The Raiders.
No, they were
Oh,
laying
the Colts.
6.
The Colts.
Yeah, I would tease them up to 12. That would be my one teaser play. I'll be here.
Give me the Seahawks plus 8.5 as well. So that'd be my 2 team, both catching 8.5. Sound Man, what you got?
I'm gonna do Packers plus 11, and I'm gonna ride with my guy Russ here and give me him at plus 8.5.
Hey, I might be back on the teaser this week, man. That Packers plus I left it alone, Rom. You seen, I was like, oh, these teasers been sharp. It's some guys that's been still out here the last 9 weeks betting those teasers, but I saw they were getting sharp at the end of last season and at the beginning of this season. I've been off of them, but I might do one this week. But yeah, shout out to that. But yeah, Rome, I don't know if you got a teaser for us. If not, give me your best bet.
Yeah, I'll tease those Colts up. I'll tease them from 6 up to 12.
Have at least 2 teams to tease, brother, man.
Yeah. I wasn't done. Yeah, so I'll tease those Colts up. And then I'll also tease those Steelers up. I'll tease them up to 7.5 and play my luck there with them. So Colts and Steelers, 2 dogs.
Yeah, I don't like that Colts one. I'll take that Steelers one. I don't like that Colts. You don't like it either when you think about it. The line is the line. Rome, give me your best bet.
Come right back to me on that.
All right, my best bet is the Pittsburgh Steelers plus 1.5. I'm going to fade that number 1.5, which has not been cashing over this season. And then I'm also just going to ride with the tradition of the Pittsburgh Steelers, 15-3-3 against the spread as a home dog under head coach Mike Tomlin, TJ Watt back. If you get yourself up for any more games this season, this is it, I think, for the Steelers. So I'm going to ride with them at home plus 1.5, my best bet.
That's a good one.
All right, Ron, what you got for me? Best bet?
Yep, best bet. It's going to be Bills over 43.5. I mentioned it at the top of the pod.
Yep.
Bills under in 7 straight games. I'll fade that trend here. I don't care who's playing quarterback. Chase Keenum, Josh Allen, Nate Peterson. It doesn't matter. Give me over 43.5 points in Buffalo this weekend. With the MVP, Kirk Cousins. Heard it here first.
All right, Sound Man, most anticipated. Sound Man special. Talk to me.
Nate Peterson and Kirk Cousins MVP is crazy. I know prior to the season, I told you I was trying to give you 2 Sound Man specials a week. I will do that this week. I'm going to back you. Steelers, going to be my first Sound Man special. P just gave out the stats, 15-3-3 for Tomlin. But again, I need everybody to remember, Andy Dalton is only 2-6 against the spread against Mike Tomlin and is also 3-13 all time against the Steelers. We have nothing for him this week. And secondly, I'm riding. I'm riding. Let's ride. Let's ride with my guy Russell Wilson. Broncos over the Titans. Mr. I forgot all about it. I'm riding with him. 2 Soundman specials. Let's get it. Steelers and the Broncos this week.
All right, we're out of here. Another week in the motherfucking books. Week 10 might be the week of the dog, man. We're gonna get at it. I really like that Colts play. I thought that was pretty sharp. It's a nice, good podcast here. But yeah, guys, we'll get to it. Appreciate all the listeners, all the guys, people tuning in.